聽到啦，係嘛？好，各位委員，我哋
Members, it's the appointed time, and we have a quorum. Information papers issued since the last meeting. Since the regular meeting on the 27th of April, the panel received 2 information papers, the details of which are listed on item 1 on the agenda. Items for discussion at the next meeting. The discussion items proposed by members at the last meeting were included on the list of outstanding items for discussion. Please note CB brackets 4583/19 to 20 brackets 01. Items for discussion at the next regular meeting. The administration proposed the following discussion items at the regular meeting in June. A. Implementation of the recommendations made by the Law Reform Commission of Hong Kong. B. The Law Reform Commission of Hong Kong's report on review of substantive sexual offences. C. The recommended collaboration framework with the mainland with regards to liquidation. Any comments from members on the proposed items? Ms. Elizabeth QUAT. Chairman, earlier I sent in a letter requesting a discussion on the alleged conflicts of interest of a prosecutor, Yong Tat Yang, co-authored a book last September on legal knowledge for children, and many people complained that the book encouraged young people to breach the law, and it was alleged misconduct in public office. I requested a discussion of this item, and hopefully it can be discussed at the next meeting. Ms. QUAT. I informed the Judiciary or the DOJ that there is interest on this matter from one of our members, but we are yet to receive any reply. I also discussed the issue with the Civil Service Bureau, and this might have to do with the Civil Service Code. We would try to get in touch with the relevant departments, but for now we are working with the DOJ. They have been informed. I will follow up with you on this in due course. If we are able to arrange time, we would arrange for discussion of this item. This matter has to do with the DOJ. They cannot dodge the issue. They should explain it to the public. Yes, your view is well noted. The Secretariat will continue to follow up with the DOJ. Thank you very much. Thank you. Dr. An Chang. The speaker is not coming through the microphone. Chairman, I sent in a letter, and I'd like to know about the standards for sentences. Can this be discussed at the next meeting? The letter was sent in on the 27th of April, and that is paper 45 brackets 2, 19 to 20 brackets 01. We will explore whether this can be discussed at the next meeting, pending a reply from the DOJ. But indeed, we have been following up on these 2 requests, and they are already on the list of proposed items for discussion. A 2-hour session could not cover so many topics, and if necessary, I think we should convene extra meetings. For example, the review of sentencing standards, as I propose, These are issues many people care about. The earlier explanations be given, the better. If necessary, we can hold extra meetings. Your view is well noted. This is only the second meeting of the AJLS panel of this session. We will consider whether we need to convene extra meetings. Ms. Tanya Chan, thank you. We tabled a letter to the chairman. In terms of convening extra meetings, the final paragraph of the, you can see that it was jointly issued by 5 members of the Civic Party with regards to the Hong Kong version of the national security law. There have been widespread discussions in the society, and just now the Hong Kong Bar Association issued a statement. The draft decision by the National People's Congress might breach various provisions of the Basic Law, and currently there are ambiguities. Can we hold an emergency meeting to discuss this draft decision, as well as to discuss the relevant contents of the law? There was no public consultation, but it has wide repercussions. The chief executive and many secretaries had to issue statements and hold press conferences. This piece of law would impact Hong Kong and international views on Hong Kong, and as such, we hope for a special discussion at a special meeting. Mr. Stephen Ho, Chairman. In terms of the discussion of different pieces of law, in terms of the consultation process of this piece of law by the NPC in Hong Kong, many people might not understand it very well. So can you explore when would be the best timing for conducting such exercise? If we start the discussions too soon without knowing the full picture, the information might not be complete. Mr. Dennis Kwok. The severity of the Hong Kong national security law and its impact on one country, two systems is expected to be enormous. It could be the biggest issue since the reunification. I agree that the information available for discussion currently is very limited. Chairman, you should request more information from relevant government authorities. The Bar Association issued a statement. They are of the opinion that this piece of law is unconstitutional. 2 members are waiting to speak. I will allow 1 minute each. Mr. Holden Chow, does anyone else wish to speak? Mr. Jeremy Tam is waiting to speak as well. Anyone else? Mr. Martin Liao and Mr. Alvin Young. Please be brief. Mr. Holden Chow. Thank you, Chairman. The NPC has come up with a draft decision. We believe they will enter the legislative proceedings at the NPCSC. Not a lot of information is available in our hands right now. Through the central government, they seek to safeguard our security. We have all heard about the black-clad violence and terrorist acts earlier. There is a need to maintain the security and stability of Hong Kong. We don't have a lot of information on hand. I don't find it appropriate to hold a meeting at this point. Once we have enough or sufficient information, we can proceed to relevant discussions. We don't have a lot of information on hand at the moment, but I believe the NPSC has started work already. I think we can discuss this later or in due course.
Mr. Jeremy Tam, Mr. Holden Chow, well, is thinking like the MPC, obviously. The decision has not been endorsed yet at the MPC, but you sounded as if it has already been passed. So you really told the Central People's Authority's line. In any case, I think we should discuss it soonest, and I agree that we should seek information from the government. While we roughly know about the timetable, we can make some anticipation ourselves. MPC would definitely endorse it towards the end of June. So we can maybe set a time now, and then we can collect information from the government. And by then, we should have sufficient information for discussion. We should not discuss after the law has taken effect. Mr. Alvin Young. Madam Chair, this is a major issue. This must be discussed soonest, because the national security law for Hong Kong, who will enforce the law, where the law will be enforced, will there be an agency from China which is above Hong Kong institutions? So we should tell this clearly to the international community, and where will the cases be tried? I think this is of major concern. Someone from the claiming to speak on the MPC said that there will be the cases will be tried not by the CFA. So you are depriving the right of the CFA. We should learn about this not from the newspapers. The SL government must come clean about it, give a full account of this. We should not wait any longer. Mr. Martin Liao. Madam Chair, Mr. Jeremy Tam is right in pointing out that decision is not endorsed yet. So on what basis can we follow up on the issue? And the legislative exercise of the MPC, well, right now the information is really scanty now. The burden of proof and other issues mentioned by the member, I mean, we don't have enough information. So if we are to hold a meeting, we should have meaningful discussion. We should not just make speculations. I think you should discuss with the government to see when the meeting can be held. I have heard your views. And right now, I will seek more information. And then we can consider whether there is a need to hold the meeting. We haven't yet seen the details of the draft decision yet. I appreciate your concern, so the panel will follow up duly. Next, Dr. Elizabeth QUAT has written on the 19th of May and saying that she hoped that the panel can discuss matters relating to the... Okay, let's suspend the meeting for 5 minutes for you to vote next door.